Hi, I'm Catherine Diorio, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week, we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go check them out and see what they think. This week, social worker Lula Robles says if you're looking for serenity in your surroundings and incredible beauty on your plate, you've simply got to check out her selection. But beer vendor Ron Rainey says forget the serenity. If you're looking for a magical Mexican dish that always hits a home run, head on over to his spot. Up first, public relations exec Amber Mentor-Trupa says that after a long day of problem solving, she's always happy to let someone else do the cooking. She says for a perfect combination of fantastic food, friendly vibe, and a great setting, follow her to Southport and stop in at Crosby's Kitchen.
Crosby's is a casual neighborhood American restaurant focusing on comfort food from the Midwest.
Stroganoff and a skillet cookie.
The menu really revolves around the rotisserie. We have a wood-fired rotisserie, and that's kind of the center of all of our cooking. There's going to be really no surprises on the menu because you're going to identify pretty much every ingredient. There'll be a little twist here and there, so you can always find something on the menu that anyone in your party is going to like. Well, Crosby's is named after my 3rd daughter. You know, it just fit exactly who we are as a restaurant and what the neighborhood is. This is where they're going to come, they're going to congregate, they're going to meet their neighbors. It's a great corner and a great meeting area for the Lakeview neighborhood. What I want them to say is it was unpretentious. Service was great, of course. The food was great, but it was real comfortably familiar, and maybe they don't understand why and they can't put their finger on it, but it just felt good.
Amber, you say that Crosby's Kitchen is a perfect neighborhood spot. Tell us why you chose it.
You know, Crosby's Kitchen always makes me feel comfortable, relaxed, and satisfied and happy. And it's just has such a diverse menu and it's broad, but I think at its heart it's comfort food and classics that is just cooked really well and tastes great. The atmosphere is super warm and inviting, and I feel like I can literally bring anyone in my life to share a great meal with me, and we just always feel good. The chicken is my personal favorite. It's super juicy, it's soft. They also have these great hot skillets, so the cornbread is really delicious.
Phenomenal.
Okay, yeah, you guys have the cornbread.
The hot maple butter.
It's the hot maple butter, and you just, you know, you think it's enough for the whole table, but then you kind of just want it for yourself.
Yeah.
So one of the favorite things that I like to get to start my meal are the lobster deviled eggs.
Yes, they were so decadent. I felt like maybe they could have given us 4 halves instead of the 3, because like it's one bite, and you know, how can you just have one bite of that lobster?
I feel like it's the perfect
it's one bite too little, right?
Yeah, one too
perfect
little.
bite to get your meal started.
Yeah. When of my friends, they had a turkey burger with that Asian slaw, and I put a little bit of sriracha on there, and you know, it was cooked perfectly. I also had the rotisserie chicken. You know, you can overdo chicken, and Crosby's Kitchen didn't do that. And I'm so proud of them that they didn't do that.
One of the things, you know, I mean, obviously the rotisserie, you can see it from every seat in the house, and that is definitely kind of the heart of the restaurant. But you know, to your point about it being very juicy, I mean, they actually brine the chicken for 12 to 24 hours before, so that's going to help keep it very juicy. And then they rub it so it has this flavor with a signature spice blend that has over 50 spices. So I will not bore you all by listing all of them, but that is why this has this very flavorful, it's what you're tasting.
Now, do they do that with the pork chops also? I had the double cut pork chop too. That was just phenomenal. My wife had the fish with the potato salad. That was good. That was real good. Bigger potatoes than I expected with the potato salad, but it was good. It's all good. And then we started out with the skillet, the cornbread skillet. Oh, that was so good.
Everyone's like, moment for the cornbread.
We're like,
yeah, I need a nap now, but no, it was good. And did you have the cookie?
That skillet cookie.
Oh,
I didn't have that. No, I had the key lime pie.
Delicious.
They almost talked us into the cookie, but then I need a glass of milk.
I also really like their salads. I don't know if anybody was going for salads. Which one? Because I had the Brussels sprout salad, and the Brussels sprout salad is my favorite salad there. And you think like, oh, Brussels sprouts, it's kind of been overdone at a lot of places, but they mix it with arugula and berries and bacon and shaved cheese, and then I put rotisserie chicken on top of that, and it's just really light and refreshing.
So Juan, you are kind of a service guru. I mean, I believe that you won best service, and they actually made a bobblehead out of you because you were everybody's favorite at Sox Park. Right?
Yep.
So Juan, what did you think of the service?
The service was okay. I ordered a beer, of all things. What else is new? And I drank the beer, and they didn't refill our water. They didn't give us iced tea. But, I mean, these things happen. They were pretty busy, and it was crowded. I liked it. I definitely will be going back, especially after a Cub game, if I can get a couple other vendors to go. I liked the experience. The ambience was nice because they had all the medicine cabinets on the wall.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. And I was like, that was in my house, the one I pointed to. We were very relaxed there. We had fun. I was people watching the dogs, because we don't have a dog anymore. So I'm looking out the window for the dogs, and it was nice.
But that's like a perfect place for people watching, because you got the window. Then you got, if you're sitting at the right place in the restaurant, because it's like a really open restaurant.
I say
so you can
no
look
bad
into
seat.
the kitchen. You can look at who else is inside of there, and that's how I got to see there's kids, there's elderly people, there's people my age, and it was, I was like, oh, you know what? I can bring anyone at any time here, and this is great.
Well, and Amber, you used to live in the Southport Corridor neighborhood, so kind of tell us a little bit about it. I mean, it's a very vibrant neighborhood and great people watching spot.
It's extremely vibrant. It's I think one of the best neighborhoods in Chicago. It just really pulls from a really diverse mix of folks and just at different stages in their lives. So, you kind of have your typical Big Ten alum crowd that's walking by, or you have, younger parents with their strollers. So I think there's just like a mix of folks there, and that's kind of what you find at Crosby's. And Southport Corridor just has great boutiques and salons and stores, and I think this has just been the restaurant that neighborhood is needed.
Well, Amber, you chose Crosby's Kitchen. Sum it up for us.
Great, comforting experience that'll put you at ease.
Great. Ron?
I will definitely go back. The food definitely outweighs everything else.
Awesome.
It's really good.
Lulu?
I think it's contemporary American classic comfort food that my heart needs.
You can try the rotisserie chicken, cornbread, and more at Crosby's Kitchen, 3455 North Southport, 773-883-2525. Open for lunch and dinner every day, and also for brunch on weekends. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $30. If Lulu Robles walks into a place and feels special, she knows she's in the right spot. That's why she says there's no better restaurant in Chicago for an awesome night out than her selection. She says for amazing Asian flavors and more, follow her to West Randolph and join her at Embeya.
Embeya is a fantastic Southeast Asian restaurant, and especially when we opened and we called ourselves Progressive Asian Cuisine, a lot of people were surprised. I think to most North Americans, upscale Asian is sushi. So we don't have sushi, we have just amazing Southeast Asian food and a really fun, vibrant ambiance. Chef Thai Dang, he's Vietnamese by birth, and he grew up in some of the best French restaurants in the country. He creates dishes from the scratch using just really exceptional techniques, whether it's searing, braising, knife pour, but pure Asian food. Thai's food is very textural, very layered, and we wanted to replicate that in the restaurant. And as your eye carries, there is a lot of layers that your eye discovers, where is the panels, the chandeliers, the light fixtures, and it really replicates his food. It's really a fun place to come in, meet to work. I mean, I never feel that I'm working, and it's a lot of fun.
So Lulu, you say Embeya has it all. Tell us why you chose it.
You know, sometimes you just want to get dressed up and, you know, have a night out, whether it be a date, and have some beautiful looking food as well as beautiful tasting food. And I feel like Embeya really embodies that artsy, on the plate look, and I would say that it's progressive Asian, that's how they explain it, but it's Southeast Asian fusion. That's, you know, and that is fusion by every meaning of the word. They know what flavors work with what, and, you know, and really correlate that to what they put onto their plate.
I had a really delicious meal at Embeya. I really enjoyed it. I also was one of those get dressed up really nice and went with my husband and another couple of ours. We did a double date, and it's just when you walk in, it's really, you know, sophisticated. Service was fantastic, and we sat down. And, you know, Asian is not always like my #1 go-to food, but oh my gosh, everything was really delicious. The flavors were really bold, and it was just one dish after another, just kind of had some really interesting twists to it. So we really enjoyed it.
The flavors worked.
The flavors all worked, yeah.
I liked it. It was fancy schmancy, as I always call it, but it was nice. My wife and I went there for our anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And,
Happy anniversary.
32 years.
Wow.
Married to a Cub fan. Yeah, married to a Cub fan. We went there. They were very attentive when we walked in. They as soon as we gave our name, they said happy anniversary. My wife was surprised about that. The service was great. Our server was there every time we wanted something. He was right there, not on our beck and call, but he was right there. Whatever we needed, he was right there for it.
You know, you said you kind of like all of these flavors they have going on. What are going to be some of your go-to dishes or things you think people can't miss when they go?
You know, and it's going to sound a little weird, but we had the grilled quail. It is so easy to overcook anything of the avian variety. Sure. So these people just grilled it perfectly, and it was just sitting obviously beautifully on the plate. And the green papaya salad.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was one of the more like inventive dishes that they had. Came out like shredded, and like people we kept mistakenly referring to it as noodles. I'm like, no, it's papaya. So I really felt that they had done something transforming with the dish. What about the mussels? Because I love the mussels.
You know,
everybody had mussels, right?
Great.
Delicious.
I was going to try and get bread to dip it in the sauce. I did with the spoon.
Well, you know, the server recommended sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
So we got sticky rice and then kind of just spooned it over it. It almost kind of became like a little Thai curry thing.
Yes.
It was another dish unto itself.
We were looking at the fish, and I wanted the fish, but there was just my wife and I.
The sole fish?
We did it. We did it. Well, there was 4 of us, and we did it. It wasn't like my absolute favorite, but my other guests really enjoyed it.
And they do the service right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to open it up and fillet it, right.
Well, Chef Thai Dang, which his name is Thai, but he's actually Vietnamese. And so he wants to do Asian food, but kind of this more refined, upscale Asian food. And, you know, they kind of wanted to obviously set that mood with the decor. So, I mean, what did you guys think of the decor?
I thought it was, you know, it's very grand when you walk in, very high ceilings, but you felt like you were,
Did you see that focal point chandelier? I mean, I think you can see it from the outside, from the street, and I like their open kitchen. They're like a well-oiled machine. You see like people like flipping up pans of food, and it's so cool to see that. You know,
a show with dinner too.
Yeah, dinner
It
and a
was
show.
like organized chaos, I guess, more than anything else. But they knew what they were doing. It was good.
Well, a little fun fact, actually, the designer of Embeya is actually who designed our set here on Check Please. So Karen Harold.
And you know what I loved the most was service. The server, he had everything down from, hey, you know, we have signature cocktails. Which one should I try? Because there's a bunch.
They're awesome.
And you know, right when I walked in, I saw the guy muddling a drink. I'm like, what is that? And I need that. You know, I need that in my life. And he's like, try this.
What did you have? Because I had the tendrone and lime. That was awesome.
good.
I was going to do that, but I got this here on Earth. That's what they call it, and it has, and it has like a little piece of some greenery on there.
And those cocktails too, they must really balance out the meals because normally I do like a pre-cocktail before dinner, but that was like what I kept drinking the rest of the night because it paired so nicely with everything else. So they must know what they're doing.
I was gonna say, Ron, you're a beer guy.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of these kind of fancy schmancy cocktails?
It was good. I can't complain. He's not a bartender though. He's a mixologist.
Oh,
Get it right.
He was. Oh no, it was phenomenal because my wife had the Queen's Ransom and she ordered 2 of those because they infuse it with Thai hot peppers.
Oh.
If I would have had another cocktail, though, I would have probably spent the night because it was.
We closed the place down.
Yeah.
They were going to put
They
up
do
the
lunch
chair.
the next day, so there you go.
Who's this guy? Hey, wake him up. He can do the dishes. Something. But it was good. It was really good.
Well, Lulu, you chose Embeya. Sum it up for us.
A swanky, fun place to go that serves elevated Southeast Asian food.
Great. And Amber?
Yeah, a great place for a night out, fancy night out with friends for transformative and inventive Asian cuisine.
Great. And Ron?
We will be going back. I enjoyed it, and we want to get the fish too.
You can try the Asian flavors for yourself at Embeya, 564 West Randolph, 312-612-5640. Open for lunch Monday through Friday and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $45.
What do you want, honey? Grilled cheese and a fry.
Cheese? We don't sell grilled cheese, honey. I know you said fries. Make up your mind. You make up your mind. Do you want anything to drink? Anything to drink? You better have enough allowance. I want you.
Ron Rainey likes to explore the city, and among his many finds, he says he's found the best pozole in Chicago. He says that if you want true hominy in your life, pop on over to Pulaski and stop in at Pozleria San Juan.
We're at Pozleria. Our main dish is the pozole, which comes in red, white, and green. It has all has different flavors. Everyone has their favorite. My favorite is the white one. Everyone has their special way of fixing it up. Usually you put the onions in there, you put the chile, oregano, lime, cabbage, radishes, everything goes in there. My grandparents, they're from Guerrero. That's where they first opened up the Pozleria, and it was called Pozleria San Juan. So it comes from all the way from Iguala. I think we keep the tradition going, and we don't change anything with the recipes. Some food actually reminds me of my grandma, when she used to make it when I was younger. When she used to make it for us. I just like that this tradition is, is still going.
Ron, you say Pozleria San Juan hits it out of the park every time. Tell us why you chose it.
I've been going there probably at least 10 years. I just like its comfort food. It's spicy, which I like, and it's just good ingredients.
What do you usually get when you go there, Ron?
Usually pozole. We sometimes get tacos. My son had a torta last time we were there. And I've never had a bad meal there. You can either get the pozole in either the red, the green, or the white. I usually get the green. My wife only gets white because...
Yeah, it's unusual to find all three at a restaurant.
Right. And it's got a lot of meat, a lot of hominy, and I usually put a lot of spices in it. It's got the radishes on the side, and I like it.
Well, pozole, many people don't actually know what that is. It actually means hominy, and hominy is actually dried corn that's then soaked in lime or lye to actually soften it up a bit. And that's so it gets kind of puffy
Pillowy,
and
yeah.
chewy, and so it has kind of like a slightly sour taste, very slight flavor to it. So it's kind of a textural addition to these dishes.
You even tried making it at home, which is a bad comparison. It's kind of like trying to...
It's a long process to make because you do have to, if you're not going to take hominy out of a can, which will have a different flavor and texture, you know, you're gonna have to cook that for a long time on
And that's
your
why
stove.
people usually only make it on Sunday.
Yes,
Exactly.
and weekend thing.
And it's a weekend thing.
It's like an Italian Sunday sauce where you just simmer that gravy all day.
So I went on some weekdays, and I'm like, okay, they're serving pozole every day of the week.
Yeah.
You know, I went there twice. The first time, I didn't have such a great experience, but I'm like, maybe I caught them on an off day. And then the second time when I went, it was okay. I felt like the pozole, I tried the green and the white. Also, I had some of the red. But I felt like it was a little bit bland. But with the accoutrements on the side, the radish, the, avocado and stuff, you kind of could make it into your own, just the way you like it. And, I didn't realize that until my second time. And they serve it with chicharrones,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Delicious.
instead of like, regular tostada, so you could just eat it with chicharrones and put them inside of there and just spoon it in. But we also had the flautas. So, and it's like, you'd think that and it just comes with a lot, and that's when I went back the second time, and I actually enjoyed that. It was better, the service was a little bit better too. But, I don't know if that's, maybe I should be expecting better service from them, because you obviously say that it is,
Yeah.
they treat you well there.
Well, they usually leave us alone. They give us our plate and then come back. Water, anything else. It's a BYOB, which is what I like.
I think that the service, they do totally leave you alone, but I mean they do check in at appropriate points is what I felt. My husband and I went in on a Friday night and the street's pretty dark, but then the bright lights of the restaurant are going, and we're like, let's go on in. And yeah, you do feel like you're transported into this little Mexican kitchen, and it's really neat. My heritage is Dominican, so I'm Latina, but growing up in Chicago, there's not a big community, so I grew up eating Mexican food, but not a lot of pozole. I think on most menus you'll find like chicken tortilla soup or like a caldo or something like that, but the pozole is the star here, and I had the red, which I thought was super delicious. My husband had the green, but it's just a really awesome experience to see this big tray come out with all of the various toppings, and everybody's reaching in and sharing and putting it into their pozole, and it was comforting and a really nice communal experience. So I really did enjoy it. We also ordered like some side things like tacos and a torta, and it was funny because we were sitting at a table for two, and we're ordering all of this, and the server just kind of was like, okay, let's move you to this bigger table over here because you got a lot going on, because those bowls are massive.
Oh, they're big, yeah.
The medium is big. So the medium is actually large, and then the large is ginormous.
Yeah.
So Ron, who goes there? Like, who do you see when you go there?
Just everyday people. Nobody famous or anything else. Just
You're there, you have your own bobblehead.
Yeah, that's right.
infamous, not famous, infamous. But it's just you see everybody, every walk of life.
I really enjoyed how they want to keep it like, authentic, and almost made it seem like it was that you were at home. I like that homey feel of things.
I thought there was a good mix of locals there, like families that were there. It looked like maybe some guys getting off a shift, that wanted like a good dinner. So I felt like you were getting like a slice of the neighborhood, and just that nice community experience.
Well, Ron, you chose Pozleria San Juan. Sum it up for us.
It's a good dining experience. See an eclectic group of people, and you can't go wrong.
Great. And Amber?
I think for a slice of life at an authentic Chicago neighborhood, it's a great place, and I think the red pozole is the star of the show here.
Great. And Lulu?
Do try all the pozoles and try to get some things other than the pozole, because they're okay too.
You can try the pozole for yourself at Pozleria San Juan, 1523 North Pulaski, 773-276-5825. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted for large parties. Alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $10. So on this week's show, we featured Crosby's Kitchen on Southport, Embeya on Randolph, and Pozleria San Juan on Pulaski. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we stopped in the Southport corridor and tried out Crosby's Kitchen. Amber recommends it for its inviting atmosphere and amazing comfort food. Ron was pleased with the atmosphere and would definitely go back. Lulu thought the food was cooked perfectly and it had a great vibe for everyone. Next, we went to the West Loop and popped in at Embeya. Lulu recommends it for beautiful looking and tasting cuisine. Ron said it was fancy schmancy, but liked every bit of it. Amber enjoyed the bold flavors and thought the atmosphere was sophisticated. Lastly, we hopped on over to Humboldt Park and checked out Pozleria San Juan. Ron recommends it for delicious pozole and says he's never had a bad meal there. Lulu had mediocre service and thought the pozole was a little bland. Amber thought it was authentic and said the pozole was the star. We had a great time this week. I want to thank my guests, Amber Mentor-Trupa, Lulu Robles, and Ron Rainey. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Catherine Diorio, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.